We have a story that has a good update. Yes, it starts out a little rocky because it starts out with finding out that her husband is cheating. That happens. But the update is a good update because she chose herself. So I will come back to this update. But first, let's go to the original post. As you can see, this post is from 5 years ago. She posted this in the relationship subreddit. At the time, she was 30 and her husband was 31. She says, I caught my husband in an affair and I don't know how to move on. She says, I've suspected things had been going on for a while, but kept brushing it off. I thought he would never do that to me. Since around April, he's been refusing my attempts to have sex most of the time, sitting differently on the couch to where he's facing away from me. Little things. It's with one of our good friends. She came to my house a few weeks ago. She's texted me. She's pretended to be there for me. I found out because I rolled over and they were having a Snapchat conversation. She says she wished she could be there to hold him, and he summarized that I tried to seduce him last night and mocked it. I confronted him and he admitted it. He said it was because quarantine was stressful. He does not want to work things out. He thinks of me only as a friend in his heart. She says when I told her husband, he confronted her, and apparently they kissed way back in February. I think at that moment, I was never going to be enough for him. We used to be so happy. The week before they kissed, we celebrated Valentine's Day together. He bought us a nice bottle of wine for our anniversary. We had fun. We were perfect. I don't know where we go from here. We've been married only about a year. I feel like he took so much from me and doesn't even want to go to therapy or work this out. I don't want to leave my house, but everywhere in it, I see him. He chose her. I've been cheated on in every relationship I've ever been in. He was supposed to be my forever. I don't know what to do. I've made therapy appointments, but I was also laid off last month. So I have too much free time to analyze every single moment where he might have been lying to me or where I made myself pathetic trying to cling to him. How do I start to get through this? So that was the beginning. Just a few of the comments. Finn says, lawyer first. Get the divorce filed and get their advice on if it's okay to leave the house while things are processing. As for the other, you'll need to fill your time. Devote yourself to hobbies, including picking up new ones. Rely on friends, long video calls, watching movies together, etc. Fill in as much of your time as you can until things start to process. I'm so sorry he gave up on you without even trying, hun. You deserve far better than that. It's a shame some people are so good at hiding how little respect they have for other folk. But please hold on to the fact that none of this was your fault. There is absolutely zero reason for a partner to cheat ever. There is absolutely no justification that can put even a shred of the blame on you. I had to go get my glasses. Y'all know I just started wearing glasses like last week, so I forgot. But here's the OP saying, thank you. The worst thing is that he tried to turn it on me this morning that things had been off. But it only started being off when he started this affair and he began gaslighting me. The reason why we do these stories is that so you can know and understand these manipulation tactics. They do certain things to keep your brain confused, keep you off kilter a little bit, and switching things around. That's part of DARVO. And if you're new here, DARVO stands for Deny, Attack, Reverse Victim Offender. If there is a problem, obviously having an affair is a problem in some kind of way. He now becomes the victim in this situation versus the one who is the problem. That is reverse victim offender. Kim Chick says, remember, he made an active choice to cheat. Every day, every time he lied, every time he texted her, he was actively choosing to lie to you and hurt you. He had other choices. He's just feeling guilty right now. So of course, he's going to try to push it on you. He'll keep doing it because he's obviously someone that doesn't take responsibility for his actions. At the end of the day, you get to leave with your integrity. He doesn't. Tangerine Tassel says, don't take any of that on. He is the reason for the affair. It has nothing to do with you. Consider yourself fortunate that this happened before spending your life with him and then finding out the kind of person he really is, or having kids to deal with in the midst of this. Walk away with your self esteem intact and build on your strengths and things you enjoy. Individual counseling may help you, but make it about you, not this loser. He doesn't deserve any more of your time. Urban Muffin says this is typical for a lot of cheaters to do. Things could be going perfectly fine up until the affair, but they want something to blame for their actions, maybe someone to blame for their actions because they're selfish. They're already cheating on you, so why not blame you too? Whatever makes them feel justified to themselves. He's shown you many reasons why you shouldn't try to work it out with him, so let him go. You'll be much better off. Recyclopath says, so if it was off, what did he do to bring that up? Get to the bottom of it and fix it. Absolutely effing nothing. Cheat on you? He just wants to be the hero in his own story. And then, yes, it's your mom says. That's what liars and cheaters do. They always want to blame someone else. It's awful. I know. He's already given up on the relationship. Take care of yourself. Put one foot in front of the other until you get the details taken care of. So that's story one. And I did quite a few of the comments because I wanted you to see that this is what cheaters do and this is how they act and this is how they try to shift blame. And we're not going to let them do that. And these people formed like a community circle around this woman. So now you see her update. Her first update was 1 year later. So we see this is 4 years ago. She says, first of all, I just want to thank everyone here for the support I received following my first post back in August. At the time, it truly felt like my world was ending. It was important to me to make this update because I need to tell anyone who's currently going through the same thing, it gets better. You will get so much better. I had one conversation with my husband since everything happened by his choice. It lasted maybe 5 minutes and was like talking to a robot. I know from others that he cries to people about how he ruined his life, but I have never once gotten an apology or the same show of regret. At this point, I don't care. I know him and the other woman are still seeing each other, and frankly, they deserve each other. Good for them. While I still feel angry occasionally, I no longer mourn what I once had. Instead, I'm so excited for the life I now get to live. I moved to a small walkable city and gave myself my dream apartment. It makes me so happy to see how I've decorated it and to just live in a cozy place instead of our old jury house. I was the breadwinner in our marriage, and he would make me feel awful about wanting to pay for nice meals or do fun things. Since moving here, I've done a ton of foodie fun stuff and don't feel guilty. It's so refreshing. I have dipped my toe into the dating pool again and had plenty of mediocre dates from dating apps. Recently, I found someone who I've really clicked with, and I'm enjoying how appreciated and desired he's made me feel. It's definitely early and we're moving slow, but overall dating has made me realize that I'm a catch who doesn't have to settle. Therapy has done wonders and I'm so happy. Immediately dove into it. My therapist is proud of me. I'm proud of me. I stopped looking at being divorced as a failure. He failed, not me. I'm genuinely happy and excited to wake up each morning and no longer feel like this terrible weight is sitting on my shoulder. The holidays were surprisingly easy, and I found myself so happy to spend time with my family without having to compromise anything. So all in all, life is good and there's so much of it ahead. Looking back, I can't believe I wasted so much time thinking about how I could get him to come home. I've made my own home and my own happiness, and that is worth so much more. Wazowski says, I'm going through a breakup that has left me feeling lost and broken. This gives me so much hope for the future. Tomorrow morning, my journey begins as I go talk to a therapist for the first time and begin the road to recovery. Thank you for being so strong and sharing your story so others may find their strength through you. You're amazing. The OP says, so many people told me things would get better, but honestly, I didn't believe it until I started feeling it myself. Just keep putting faith in yourself and remember, You're so much stronger than you think. You've already done the biggest step, signing up for therapy. Okay, so I'm going to end that there. That was the first update. And I'm going to end this video and start up a new one so that we can get to the final update that she just put out. So here's the update to I caught my husband in an affair and I don't know how to move forward. Remember, the first one was 5 years ago. So we've done the original post and update number 1. I did that in part 1. This is part 2. She says, wow, I can't believe this happened over 5 years ago now. In some ways, it feels like it happened to me in a different life. I still get messages asking about this and figured I could add some insight into how life can look after a few years down the line, after everything gets completely and utterly wrecked. Good news, if you put in the work, it looks pretty effing great. First of all, where's my ex-husband now? I haven't had contact with him since September of 2020 and largely don't keep track of things, but I can see that this man still follows me on Instagram and watches all of my stories. I consider blocking him, but just let it be. I think it's the petty part of me who's living a full life that's fine with rubbing it in a bit. He and the affair partner did get married after a whoopsie kid, and I'm pretty sure they had another, but they also lost both their jobs as teachers. He got her a job at his school, so she was working with an entire staff that knew they had an affair and had to move to the middle of nowhere. Last I heard of them, the affair partner had been texting his former best friend unhinged rants about not including them in get-togethers or allowing my ex-husband to be a groomsman in his wedding. But enough about them, because they already took up way too many pages in my story. When we last let off, I think I had just moved to a new city, shout out to Richmond, Virginia, and was largely just finding myself again. I think the change of scenery was the best thing that I did for myself. I was never meant to live in the suburbs, and moving to a beautiful little city where I can walk to coffee shops, bakeries, and bookstores honestly helped my mental health as much as the therapy. I bought a house here a couple of years ago and have really settled in. Then I got my puppy, a corgi named Bilbo Baggins, who really is the true love of my life. He is the greasiest thing to happen to me and is just such a fantastic, chunky guy. We go to a local dog park with a bar all the time, and he even has his own little dog social group. Kids aren't something I plan on, so he is basically my son. It hasn't all been perfect. My dad died, my best friend moved across the country, and I largely haven't really been dating much the past couple of years. Dating hasn't been a huge priority for me, and my friends say that I'm probably too picky. I say that I know what it's like to be in a marriage with someone who might love you but doesn't like you, and it's not worth settling. But while I may be single, I am fulfilled and busy. My birthday is Saturday, and I'll be spending it in Paris at a Lady Gaga concert. I saw Sabrina Carpenter in Amsterdam, Taylor Swift in Lyon, Springsteen in Edinburgh, Noah Kahan at Fenway Park. Earlier this year, I was able to visit Katmai National Park and see the brown bears in the falls. I have a D&D group and a really amazing village of people I love. I would not be in this headspace if I didn't go to therapy and work out the why of me settling for this man in the first place. True story. When planning our honeymoon in New Zealand, I, of course, had to plan the entire thing despite him picking the location. He refused to do any driving, so we had to do a guided tour that left on specific dates. He pretended to not be able to get a day off work when we needed to leave until I started crying and begging him to just ask his boss for it because literally no other flights worked. That's when he said he actually always had the day off, but wanted to make sure I was actually working hard enough to choose good flights. So he is a real liar in multiple ways, okay? Anyway, I chose to marry that, and it was a lot to unpack in therapy, but I'm glad I did because without it, I don't think I would have built this life for myself. At the end of the day, what happened to me set me up to live a happier life than what I was living. So in some ways, I'm thankful for the experience, poopy as it was. She did not say poopy. If you're in the middle of something terrible, unfair, and world shattering to you, just know that it's not forever. While this experience has made me a bit of a believer in karma, I also know that there was a lot of work to get myself out of that big black mental hole. Sometimes it seemed that I would slide back in it, but by looking forward and figuring myself out, I eventually clawed my way out. I think you can too, and that you are worth fighting for. Yay for an amazing story. You gotta love a happy ending where a woman has chosen herself. The story is not going to always be, just great. It's not going to always be a yellow brick road without any obstacles or anything. Sometimes sucky stuff happens. It's how you navigate the sucky things that makes you stronger. That's what defines your story. That's what helps create the whole story, and you are the main character. And like she said, she spent too much time talking about them in the pages of her story. That's their story to tell. She's writing her own story. She's the author of it. She's in control. And I love that about this story. Now, I acknowledge that there are some stories on Reddit that can be fake. I get that. But even still, in telling this still does kind of lay a blueprint on how a woman can face some adversity, move forward, and still live a life that is full of whatever she decides to make it full of. And I am here for these types of stories. Randomly placed finger says, I feel like following this story and you having this be your current chapter is the best thing I've heard this year. I'm so happy for you. Never settle, know your worth, and give the sir some scourges. Also, Richmond is a beautiful city. I grew up as a teenager there. The person at the top, Dark Illumination, says, such an amazing update. I completely agree with that. Congratulations on maintaining a positive attitude and pushing forward with beautiful determination. And then we got Lolly Berry saying, congrats on living your best life. Also, hello from a fellow Richmonder. This city is small and has its problems, but is charming and has its way of making you stay or come back if you moved away. I'm glad you're just doing your thing and enjoying your life with your pup. Best ending. And then she says, oh, Richmond, we might not have the water for a week, but we do have Fat Rabbit, so it evens out. We might not have water for a week. I don't understand that reference. Like, why wouldn't you have water? So come to find out, also, on top of Bilbo Baggins, she has 2 cats. So that's just another part of her story. She is also a cat woman, a cat lady, and she's single. So she is the stereotype, but she's the way that we're going to turn the stereotype around, and women will reclaim it and just be happy and single and thriving. All right, y'all, I'm going to end it there. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. I'm pushing towards 100,000 subscribers over on YouTube. If you're not following me, please go ahead and smash the follow button.